Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you're doing really well. My name's Humna and I share content connected to art, healing and spirituality through my channel. This is something which I recently started, which is Light Upon Light sessions, and there's something that I do every Friday. Through Zoom, so you can join in from anywhere on the planet, and these are inspired by the Ayaat of Quraan and the 99 names of Allah, where we come together to create artworks celebrating the essence of the word of Allah and the names of Allah, and through that bring grounding and clarity and peace into our whole being and become very deeply connected to the world that Allah has created around us and within us. So if that's something you'd like to do, join me for. All the information is down below. Every day I was picking up the Quran and reading an ayat for myself, and I thought it's so cool that we absorb so much of different things through YouTube and other social medias, that what if the word of Allah was something that was shared to us? And for me, it was always the Arabic language was very difficult for me to grasp, and for me, there was always this barrier. And recently I've come to understand that Quran is a book that is for the heart and the mind. It is what brings us peace in both our heart and mind, and it is for our whole being. And so it can't be just restricted to a certain language. It is the language of the soul, and soul doesn't have boundaries. So breaking these limitations of, because I always thought like you could only read Quran in Arabic and that's pretty much it, which I think is still important, and I still would like to do that, inshallah, at some point. May Allah guide me to doing it. But as for now, I wanted to break that barrier and say, hang on, why not learn or read it in the language that I can understand it? And my Urdu isn't very, very great when it comes to reading. So I thought, well, let's go with what I can, right? Because there's a very strong quote that I follow: start with what you have and start with where you are. So don't try to look for something. Start with whatever it is you have in your hands right now. What is it that you can do? So right now I speak English, I read English, so might as well start with that. And who knows where Allah takes me tomorrow, but today, inshallah, this is where He wants me to be. And so with that intention, I share a few ayat every day, so to kind of, just in this big world, big network of emotions and chaos and whatever, I don't know, just big network of the world. I feel like the more we speak about Allah, the more light we will bring into this network. And so my intention through this is that if a heart listens to it and there sparks the love of Allah in it, then that spark is what will grow on to other hearts, and the more God conscious we become, the more this world will be filled with light, with His presence. Of course, I mean, there's no need for me to be doing that. There's lots of people doing it in lots of ways, and the whole creation itself is light, but there's a lot of density that's kind of gone into our soul, the traumas, the pain, the things that we've been carrying in our body. And it's so important to have these reminders, so whoever it may reach, whoever Allah wants them to reach through my voice. But my intention is that sparking a light within you, taking you back home to your soul, is something that I'm really passionate about. And of course I do that through art, but I figured, why not try these sort of podcasts and see where it takes us. So with that thought, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, I'm going to take you to the ayat. First I'm going to read it, and if something comes through, then I will share it with you. If not, then I won't. I also want to add, I'm not a very educated person when it comes to all the Quran in depth. I connect to Quran through my heart, and what I share is not something which I believe is right or wrong, because the book of Allah is truly protected by Him. So may Allah give my tongue the strength and clarity to speak it to you in a way that it also makes you hear it with clarity, and His message comes through, not what I am sharing, but what He is going to allow us to be able to, for me to speak and for you to hear. May it be completely that what he wants us to connect to, inshallah ta'ala, through his words, to him. It says here the correct way to listen to Qur'an. This is the Surah number 7 and Ayat 204 to 206. Whenever the Qur'an is recited, listen carefully to it and be silent so that you may benefit from it. Humbly remind yourself morning and evening of your Lord and be in awe of him without speaking loud, and don't be one of the neglectful. The angels in the divine presence do not turn away from his worship arrogantly. Rather, they glorify him and prostrate before him. Alhamdulillah. Now, when I think about this, it's amazing how it always gets me really emotional when I think of how Allah is so loving towards us. And not only that he gave his word, he's also guiding us that what is the best way that it can have an effect on your heart and your mind. He's not just giving it to you like, when you get like a washing machine or a telephone and you get a manual in it, and it's very emotionless. You just kind of flip through the book. I mean, I don't even flip through those books, but you just flip through that book and you kind of, it's just very wordy, right? And Allah's book is not just like just words or just any like kind of like a manual. It is the word of Allah, and so he wants you and I to be so present with it, like not just to do 10 things and then be like, yeah, okay, let Quran just go on in the background. This is so intentional. Don't pick the word of Allah without the attention and intention that it requires and deserves. It's almost commanding you to stop your life every morning, every day, and commanding like do this. The command is so full of love for your benefit. It's not like Allah needs you to study the Quran. It is you who needs to read the Quran in a way that it deserves for your benefit, for your soul to be enriched with his love. It's not about him. It's more about you turning to him, for that is how important he is and needs to be in your life. And it says here, whenever the Quran is recited, listen carefully to it, because sometimes when you don't listen to things, we can just assume things. And when we assume things, we make up stories in our head and we go in loops in our brain. So Allah wants us to be very clear about it, like listen to it with calmness. Listen to it carefully. Whenever it is recited, wherever you may be, hold yourself in that present moment and listen to it carefully. And be silent, because when you are talking and you are listening, and you're talking and you're listening, you're reacting and responding. So your brain is constantly thinking, oh, but why is this that? Oh, but why is he saying this? Oh, does he mean this or does he mean that? So just be really silent. When you're carefully absorbing the word of Allah through your ears and you're keeping quiet, you're taking the energy of his words inside your body, like inside your soul. So imagine like the light is going from your ears inside. So the mouth is not opening and releasing it out into the world. It's something that is going within you. It's the energy of light that is coming through your ears down into your stomach, and feel it come down your whole body, through your hands, through your veins, through every single cell. It awakens you from your soul, and it guides not only your heart but also your mind. And so quieten yourself, be silent, so that you don't release it out into the world. Absorb it for your own healing. Absorb it inside you as a way of him sending you light and love in your soul through your ears. So keep your mouth shut. Don't ask too many questions. Don't doubt what he's saying. Absorb it like it is healing. It is his good news. It is love coming through him to you through your ears. so that you may benefit from it. You see, if you're going to just question and you're going to doubt and you're going to constantly like be like, hey, what is this, huh, what is that, you're not listening to it properly. You're only listening to respond and react. You're not listening to heal and be guided. And so to be healed and to be guided, to benefit from it, you need to listen to it carefully. What does carefully mean? Slowly, with every single word. So imagine every single word has a few alphabets, alif, lam, and Re and Swad and Seen. All of these alphabets, every single alphabet is light. And every time you listen to Quran, that much amount of light needs to get into you through your ears for your healing. So it's not just the words that you're taking in, you're listening to light that is from the heavens. So the more light you listen to, the more light being you get activated as, the more you are able to speak the language of light, which is the language of your soul. So imagine like your soul gets recharged through the words of Quran. And so when you are like constantly moving or doing things, and you're busy doing something, and you're just like washing dishes or cooking food, and you're just kind of putting it in the background, it's not going to have an effect. You're not going to benefit from it because you didn't consciously connect to Quran for it to be healing or to be guidance. For the source of it to be guidance and for it to heal you, you have to sit with Quran, and you have to carefully, one after the other, imagine the words, the alphabets going in your being to heal you from the inside, from your core soul, right? Humbly remind yourself, be gentle with yourself, and be humble that this book that you have is truly a gift. It's not just a book that you put in the shelf. I grew up with Quran being on the shelf inside this beautiful brocade fabric, and the focus was always on what colored fabric and what beautiful gota it should have. And we kind of, that shows our mental thoughts, right? Put it high up there because, oh my God, Quran needs to be high up there because that's where God is. God is as much high up there in the skies as he is down below in the dirt of this earth, right? So we putting it up there only gathers dust. We don't even touch it. Oh, it's so high up there. And I grew up thinking, oh, it's so much respect. Do you know what? Quran deserves respect, truly. But what Quran really deserves is your time, your attention, and your love and commitment and concentration and a curiosity. I mean, I can go on, but Quran doesn't only require respect, it requires you to be turned towards it as a form of Allah's love that comes through every single alphabet of it. For every single alphabet was placed and chosen and said and spoken so that you could be guided and you could receive the healing that you've been looking for in medicine and other people. You run after things and you think you're going to go to this doctor and they're going to heal you. Nobody can heal you like the way Quran can. It's like oh my God, I'm going to get emotional. It's like these white feathers that kind of just envelop you. When you listen to Quran consciously, it becomes your friend. It speaks to you and it guides you and it holds you and it reminds you of how much love Allah has for you. And that love cannot be worded out into what it truly is, because it's not love of a man or a thing or a cat or a dog or a job. It's not a love that is from this world. This is a love that has to be felt in every single cell of your being I don't think there is words, but it's like it humbles you. It says here, humbly remind yourself morning and evening of your Lord and be in awe of him. Morning and evening also makes me think the sun and the moon, right? Like, don't have this, I will only pray when I'm in a good mood or when the sun is shining, then I'll pray. Or when I'm really dark in the dungeons, that's when I will pray. Pray. Pray at all times. Connect with Allah at all times. Remember Allah at all times. Don't wait for something to happen to pray. Don't wait to be grateful for Allah for something happened. Be grateful for Allah, for you exist, for your breathing, for your hearing, for your here. And I think that's the awe. Remind yourself morning and evening of your Lord and be in awe of Him. Awe of everything that He has given you without speaking loud, and don't be one of the neglectful. He shows you the signs. He's making you hear all this. He's making you see everything. He's making you see when the sun goes up and the moon comes up, and as the sky, the colors change, and everything of that sort. He's showing it all to you. If it wasn't for Him, the sun couldn't go up. If it wasn't for Him, the sky couldn't turn blue, dark blue, right? So He's showing you all these signs. Don't turn your face away from what He's showing you in the signs that you are able to see through your eyes, but you're not feeling them in your soul, right? It says the angels in the divine presence do not turn away from His worship. The angels are always devoted and submitted to Allah. Angels are those who have submitted and surrendered and were created to be worshipping Him. And so that is what you and I also are. We were created to worship Him, to remember Him, to be in awe of Him, to be always like with that child, like, oh my God, what is Allah going to do today for me? It's that feeling that we have to develop in ourselves. And like I said, that's something that comes, for me, it was through art. And that's something I truly invite people for my sessions for Friday. Like I said, they're all on Zoom, so you can come in from anywhere on the planet. And they're also available to buy one separately on their own through my Patreon, if that's something that you'd like to do and you get called to. InshaAllah, you can do that. So He says the angels in the divine presence do not turn away from His worship arrogantly. Don't be arrogant. Don't think that you are it. For you couldn't be anything if it wasn't the will of Allah. So be humble. Rather, they glorify Him and prostrate before Him. It's so beautiful that He is telling you, be like the angels. Remember that you are in the divine presence no matter where you are. You are with me and I am with you. So do not turn away from me. Turn towards me and worship with being humble. And as you make yourself humble, I will be able to send you the messages, connect with you, for you will be making the commitment to yourself, to your healing, to your own being as mine. And so be careful and listen to what I have to say and be silent so that you can benefit from it. And rather, they glorify Him and prostrate before Him, which means don't ever forget who it is you belong to and who it is, InshaAllah, you will return to. If you enjoy these videos, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. This helps me grow and share more connected to the energy that I'm receiving from you all. Every comment, every like helps me energetically pick on your energy and bring to you that what could be beneficial for both of us. So through that like, through that share, it is in the quantum field, you are connecting to my energy and I'm connecting to yours. So I'm able to guide and heal through my being in a better way and build a soul tribe together, InshaAllah ta'ala. I'm sending you lots of love, light and peace, everyone. Enjoy yourselves and take good care. May Allah always keep us on His path and make us people that He is pleased with, InshaAllah. Allah Hafiz for now.